turned 50 a couple of weeks ago, and I'm reminded of all of the times when people maybe I've known, or just patients, or in the world of how we receive news, how they talk about life changing as we get older and the shifts that happen with time, particularly 50 and beyond. And I'm thinking about that for myself now that I'm 50. I'm thinking about where it is that I am in my life and itemizing that, if you will, to see what stays and what goes, what gets cultivated and what gets eliminated, what I want to hone and what I want to let go. And it's really deep because at 50, am I likely to get 50 more years? I may have, in fact, lived more years already than I have to look forward to. So what becomes of me in my life, in this here life experience, where it is our longest, shortest experience? Life, our lives, it's our longest, shortest experience. 50 years is a long time, and yet it's a short time. And so inside the belly of that, who am I and who am I becoming? And think about you, wherever you are in your life, whatever age you are, the time is always truly right now. And the older we get, time really is right now, even though the emphasis on that really should be really in all moments, because time really is happening in all moments, no matter what age we are. And yet still at 50, it's happening really now. And so what does this new chapter of my life look like? Meaning, how will I create it? How will I orchestrate it? What will I develop? And it's for all of us. How are you creating your days? How are you creating the life that you're living? Are we engaged in the things that we truly want to be about? Or have we attached ourselves to the conditioning of this traditional way of being, this hustle and bustle, the rat race, the having to have a traditional job, having to accumulate all of the material things in order to feel worthy, in order to appear to others as if we've arrived, when the truth is none of that is really true. Money is necessary, yes. And what becomes of our deepest joy and happiness? What becomes of our desire to feel fulfilled in a sense of meaning and purpose and belonging unto ourselves and in the world that we surround ourselves by? Like our intimate worlds, family, friends. What are we doing with this time that we have inside this long, short experience? And I know for me, and maybe this is sort of the new theme in the moment, it's opening a vast door and walking into something different that, looks like more relaxation. People talk about living a soft life, living a softer life, a life of delicious naps and, presence. Because when I think about, and I'm grateful for work, I'm grateful for what a job can afford. And when I start peeling back the layers of the many components inside of work, I realize it's not aligned with my truth. The decisions some people make, the way that some people behave, people in positions of power who choose to not cultivate the good but maybe add to the ill, it's not in alignment with the highest vibration. And so what am I going to do to change myself from that picture. And that is something that really comes with age, from a wise place of panning out and saying, in the biggest life picture, where does this fit and fall? Because it may not fit and fall anywhere. Have you thought about that in your life? The things that may not fit or fall anywhere that you're still somehow connected to or engaged in, and then the reasons for that, and how we convince ourselves that we have to keep doing this thing in order to be. That's some real conditioning, isn't it? That we have to continue this in order to be. I was listening to and watching actually the IMO podcast with Michelle Obama and her brother, whose name is escaping me in this moment, which is terrible. He deserves the fullness of his name. And they were talking about, disappointments in life and how we're raised to follow a certain way. You go to school, you study this, you get the job, you do these things, and you don't really know why. You're just doing it because that's what you're supposed to do. That sounds good. That's going to afford this certain life and reality. And guess what? It does. It sort of perpetuates the thought process or the mindset, because it does afford all those things. Yay, we got it. And now what? You realize, I don't even get joy from this. Maybe you did, now you don't. Or why am I doing this? Who pointed me in this direction? How did I arrive here? Why did I get married fresh out of high school before I explored? And I'm just throwing these things out. Why did I? And so it's not an abash ourselves way, as my partner say, grace. I always joke when we get married that Grace is going to be invited to the wedding, because I'm often having to extend grace. So it's having grace, for ourselves. That it's not why in a condemnation way. It's why in an inquiry way, literally to investigate what has arrived me here and what is propelling me to continue, when deep, deep, deep inside, I know it's time to explore what is truly true. And even if I do not have all of the answers to that, which often we will not, answers come as we walk forward. Even if I feel some fear or hesitation because of the unknown, which also is normal and natural, because the unknown is not yet known to us, but requires that we enter in order to know it. Even if we have all of these other thoughts, am I going to allow myself to move it forward so that I can see, in the same way that we follow the laid out path that arrives us at all the success and going to school and getting all the stuff and getting the corporate job? Even in the same way that we follow that path, will we allow ourselves to pivot and follow the inner path? And at 50, I'm telling you, I am opening that vast door, because life is our longest, shortest experience. What if I'm on the short side of the long experience, right? And so if not now, then when? And how dedicated and committed am I even to what is coming out of my mouth right now? Right? Because we can say a whole lot of things, but it doesn't mean that we are going to walk in the shoes of our own saying. Right now, I'm learning Portuguese. How committed am I to that? Which is not always easy. As if it's supposed to be easy to just learn a whole other language, complete with accent, pronunciation, and all of the stuff. Right? How committed are we to changing the path that we're on, if the path that we're on needs to be changed in this here, our what? Longest, shortest life experience. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about how important it is to honor ourselves and to honor that voice within that keeps on keeping on. Even when we act like we don't hear it, something will arrive and it's like, there it is again, that sort of inner nudge and knock. Are you supposed to be going in a different direction? Is your heart calling you out of a relationship and into relating with yourself? Are you leaning toward pottery, ceramics, writing, dance, coaching, teaching, podcasting, right? What is it? And are you allowing yourself some time to sit with it in order to begin to nourish that inner nudge? Because time, it is an illusion. We think we have so much of it, and we do. It's our longest experience, but then we don't, because it's our shortest experience too. So what are we experiencing inside of this experience? And how are we experiencing that? So in this moment, I really want to make sure the soil is fertile so that the seeds of change, going from the traditional what we should be doing to the truth of what is inside us to be, births. We want to cultivate that. It's time to change the mindset, especially with so much going on in the world today. We have to begin to change our mindset to believe in the ability to be other than how we have been, to do things other than how they've been done, to not believe the hype of others and to believe the truth of ourselves. It's time. And so as I say this, I'm saying it to myself. As I, hope to inspire and encourage, I hope to inspire and encourage myself. And as I pan over my life, these 50 years of gratitude for the abundance that, holds 50 years, I want to give nod to however many years I have left and to make sure that I'm actually in alignment with what's true and not in resistance with what isn't, not trying to make a square peg fit into a circle. You know what I mean? I'm just, how might I wake up and be with the connection to rightly being guided? How might I wake up and live in alignment with the truth and highest vibration of myself? How might I close my eyes to the external and the exterior, to shut my ears to the voices outside in order to look within into the interior, to hear the voice inside my own mind and understand deeply what is true for me inside of this, my one lifetime? How am I being and becoming? I want to sit with that. And I invite you, if this resonates, to sit with it as well. And let's, join forces energetically to create a shift and change, and to bloom and to blossom inside of that shift and change. Yes, I'm with that. This is our longest, shortest experience, life. May we honor that by honoring what is true and sitting with the infinite possibilities of pivoting and progressing in a direction that is rooted from the inside, not the outside. May we trust the way of the path and the path of the way. I want that for myself. And if this is what you want, I want it for you too. Yeah, that's real. Real talk, as they say. Thank you, as always, for spending time with me, hanging out, listening in. If you haven't already, please subscribe, tell a friend, rate the show, Because this here is a part of my change. This here is a part of my development and my becoming. And you are a part of the evolution and success of that. So thank you. I really do appreciate you. I'm not one to waste my words, and I am not wasting them by saying, I really appreciate you. So thank you. And come back around next week. Give me a listen. See what I'm talking about then, because I have no idea today. But we shall see in the tomorrows. Thanks again. Yeah.